Hello, everyone. This is Natalia on Luxury with Natalia, Yachting International Radio. I am here with a special guest all the way in London at the wonderful Franklin Hotel, Miko. How are you?
I am very well. Thank you very much. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you. And it's so nice to see you again. It's been a while since I stayed at the hotel, but it's one of my all-time favorite luxury hotels.
Likewise, yeah, it's great to see you again. Even it's not in person, but like to see at least your face. So, thank you. Thank you for having me on your program.
Thanks. I'm very happy to have you because you are one of my favorite head concierges. You are absolutely fantastic when it comes to arranging last minute deals for me. I'm never one to come with much notice. So every time I do announce that I am coming, you manage to pull off some pretty miraculous bookings for me. So I appreciate that. And that's why I wanted to have you on and to explain to the outside world who you are, because you were a runner-up at the Golden Keys Awards last year, as I understand.
That's correct. Concierge of the Year. I mean, I've been nominated a few times, but last year was I was the runner-up for the Concierge of the Year in London. That's right.
Wonderful. And I hope that you get it next year because you deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what is it that makes a head concierge so special and deserving of an award, let's say?
Well, I mean, not necessarily you have to be a head concierge to get awards, of course. For me, it is important that you are a very, very flexible concierge, so in any way. So you have to, compromise. You have to look in the guest perspective. You have to just see exactly what they need, and then you bend yourself. You do your way, of course, but you need to do exactly what guest needs, and then you make it happen. You make it impossible possible.
That's very similar to yacht crew. In fact, everyone who is on a super yacht is ultimately inclined to have the ultimate aim of making things unimaginable happen, and also for the guests to feel that they don't even have to ask for whatever it is they need. It just happens. And that is very much so in your case, on the understanding your clients who are staying, doing research before they arrive, to give them a plethora of different things that they could consider while they're staying there, and also in their room to have their special things waiting for them, I suppose, as well.
Absolutely, that's correct. So it is important that we know the guest well, or we need to find out what exactly about their personality, about their preferences is very important. Some people may like a very quiet time. Some people might like a very buzzy time. So just we need to kind of that measure. We need to kind of balance that. We as a I mean, me personally as a concierge, I talk to them and I see them. I can observe them. I will observe them and then see if they want to talk. Then we talk. If they don't want to talk, then I don't talk. So unless they talk to me, and then I'll talk. So it is important. Absolutely, need to know what exactly they like, what is their preferences are, and we'll make things beforehand. Even they arrive, if we know what they need beforehand, they arrive to the hotel. We'll get all those things done. Then when you impress the guest, when the guest is actually impressed with all these little touches, which is little details, basically attention to the details.
I know you thought I was a very big sweet tooth, and you hit it right on the spot because I had a wonderful platter of lovely macaroons and cakes and beautiful patisseries waiting for me when I arrived. So those are the little things that make you smile and remember. And absolutely, I will be back. I don't know when yet, but I will be.
Absolutely. I mean, even there are little things. I mean, even they don't really cost anything to the hotel or to anyone, but that makes really a big differences to the guest.
So tell me, Miko, because we met when you were working at a different hotel, not far from where you're at the Mandarin Oriental. And how is it to be in a smaller establishment, yet I would say it's more difficult, perhaps, because it's, well, you really have to pay attention in a smaller establishment. Tell us a bit more about that.
That's correct. Yes, I was working at the Mandarin Oriental, as you know, where we met. So I was there for 16 years, actually. So coming from that, for almost when I was there, when I started, they had 200 rooms. So comparing with the Franklin, which is literally is not in a fifth of the Mandarin Oriental, is 35 rooms. However, for me, the service always is the highest standard, is the customer care, customer service for me. I'm a very customer service orientated person. So for me, it doesn't matter where I work, but always try to give my best to the guest and try to do my best on their request. So, of course, Mandarin Oriental was a big hotel, was a big demand always, was clients are very again different clients than the Franklin. However, at the Franklin is more in the more personalized in a way, because it's so small. We basically, you interact with each guest, every guest of the hotel. We have only 35 rooms, just to mention. So we know all our guests with their name. We have mainly all repeat guests all the time, and we sit with them and talk almost all day. So that's actually is very special to the guests, because when they sit down with you and they open up more, so you get to know them better. So when you get to know them better, then you make them happier, because you know what they want exactly, because of the long discussion, long conversation, and you get them better, and you make things happen for them, and you get to know what exactly they want. So you don't just do something which they might like it or they might not like it, but when you have a discussion, you know exactly 100% what they want, and then you make it happen. They absolutely will be over the moon. So at the Mandarin Oriental, of course, is a big hotel, lots of guests, and you don't have so much time for the guests. We have a normal standing desk. We used to have a standing desk in the Mandarin Oriental. So you basically, the guests come, you do take their requests, you do deal with them. However, then there's another guest waiting for them. So you want to kind of finish it quickly with this guest, because you know there's someone else behind, and you don't want to make them wait too long either. So it's not that you don't want to serve this guest, but you don't want to make the other guests upset because they're waiting. So whereas here at the Franklin is completely different. We don't have a standing desk. We sit down at the desk. We not necessarily at the concierge desk, but we sit anywhere our guests like. So if they want to sit in the bar, we take our laptop with us, go to the bar, and we sit with them while they drink their coffee or tea or champagne or cocktail. We talk to them. So that makes a big difference with interaction, of course. So yes, it is completely different things. And most of the time here at the Franklin, when I book the local restaurants, 8 out of 10, I walk with my guests to the restaurant. So which is incredible things. This cannot happen in a bigger hotel. So and when I do that, guests is absolutely flattered. They said, wow, this is something very different, something beyond their expectations. So no one really expects you to walk them to the restaurants, which sometimes take about 6-7 minutes, and then but it gives me a pleasure to, at least I don't want them to get lost. Not necessarily they will get lost, but they will easy to find their way when I'm with them. So, and then we talk all the way to the restaurant, so we find out even more about the guests. So yes, that's the differences.
Right, yes. And well, of course, your establishment has a wonderful bar and a renowned chef also doing some amazing food. And in fact, you're in one of the special rooms designed by a famous designer, Anoushka Hempel. So she renovated some of the rooms a few years ago, I believe.
That's right. I mean, obviously, Anoushka Hempel is our designer, and she did all the design of this hotel. However, she I mean, she used to come very often to see, obviously, how the design is going. She doesn't want anything to change, anything to be moved from wherever she placed them. And she's of course, her style is very unique. Everyone knows her style, whoever is into the interior design. She's got a kind of like this dark colors. Like Blake's Hotel, which is her first hotel, is actually the first boutique hotel in the world. She did, and it's kind of dark. I mean, Blake's Hotel, I'm not sure if you've seen it. Is a black and white, but here is more like gray. But whoever walks into the hotel, they straight away they know there's Anoushka Hempel design. So it's very unique. It's very striking. You know exactly who's the designer.
Beautiful. And all the images that you have on the website, it really makes you feel that this is a place where you will be home from home in luxury, ultimate luxury, which again comes back to the question, what is your definition of luxury, Miko?
For me, luxury is like to basically, for me, the luxury is to make things, to have it everything, like make it things possible. Like, for example, if you have a request for a very difficult restaurant, I'll make it happen. That's luxury. For example, you're asking for a sold out show or opera or whatever it is, concert. When I make it possible, that's for me is a luxury. So if you want a hotel room somewhere in the world, I mean close city, let's say Paris, which is a very busy city, I get a room at a luxury hotel, which is a fully booked all the time. That's luxuriness. So for me, that's basically the guest doesn't have to feel that they don't get actually.
Yeah, I think it cut up there a little bit, but can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's wonderful, and I appreciate that. And also, perhaps could you tell us what are some of the top restaurants now, or top things to do that your guests ask you for when they come to stay?
Because there's I mean, is from the guest to the guest is completely different things. Some guests, they come and they want to dine in the top restaurants and the trendy restaurants, and most of the time guests actually go for the trendy restaurant, not because of the food, because of the scenery, because they want to be seen, because they've heard from their friends or from whoever, from the guests. So that's the one thing they want to do in London. They want to go to top restaurants. Of course, they want to do other stuff, like if they want to do tourists, some they want to do touristic stuff like a sightseeing tour and stuff. Could be this is London, could be London highlights, could be outside London, could be the Cotswolds, could be Windsor, could be basically anywhere. There could be outside London, I would say. And then of course other things again. The theater, obviously, as you know, the West End is London is very famous for the theater, and which is a big business also in London as well. So yeah, they want to see that top show, that basically want to see it. So is there are lots of things in London you can do. Really, is London, you never ever get bored in London. So yeah, you live. I mean, I've been living in London for past 24 years. I never ever get bored for a second actually in London. So there's always something to do. There's always something new. There's always a new restaurant to go. There's always absolutely something to do, really, and something for everyone as well, not only for adults but also for families, for children, for everyone. Yeah.
And you get invited a lot to discover and unravel some of the new things that are happening or new places, and that's also in itself quite intense. You have your professional life that follows even deep into the late nights and whatnot. So for you, it's very much a passion to be involved in the work that you do, because obviously you're spending a lot of your time trying out new things and discovering it so that your clients, your guests can appreciate the same level thereafter.
Absolutely, you're completely right, because as a concierge, I need to know what's happening. I need to know what's opening. I need to know what's opened. I need to know what's opening in the future. So in order to give my guests actually the best experience. So that's why, yes, I do go to the quite often go to the restaurants, clubs, or sightseeing venue. Um, so so the yeah, I mean, to give in order to give the guest the best experience, you need to know first-hand knowledge. If you don't know that, and I don't think you can really give it the best experience to your guests. So if you haven't been in a restaurant, you cannot really recommend to the guests. You cannot say, "Oh, that restaurant is amazing," or actually, "Don't go, is bad," because you haven't been, unless you've been in the restaurant. So same thing with everything else, like a show. If you haven't been in a show, you cannot say, "Oh, it's an amazing show, it's a bad show," because you haven't been. So, but if you've been in this kind of things, well, if you've been in a restaurant, you can recommend. You can say, "Look, it's an amazing restaurant. I've been myself, and they have this dish is the best dish. You need to try." Same thing with the show. I've seen this show is incredible. It's either is a comedy or is a drama or is a play. You can explain because you've been yourself. So that's the best thing. So for me to be really a good concierge, you need to be a good networker as well. So you need to know right people to get the people get in, like at the restaurants, the tickets, the theaters, or the box office. Whatever it is, you need to be really a good networker. So you know what they say, don't. It is all about not what you know, it is about who you know. So, it is important, I think.
Absolutely. Sounds like a charter broker. They also have to do that job and be on the ground and know what restaurants to suggest if the client wants to go on land, and tell the crew that this is what their preference is, etc. So for sure. And maybe you could tell us some anecdotes of one of the most wonderful surprises that you arranged for a guest, or something completely out of the ordinary that you had to deal with.
Well, I mean, of course, I had lots of things. However, the one I never ever will forget, that was I arranged the one of the guests. He was with his girlfriend for a while, and he wanted to propose. The one thing he wanted to propose in a public, basically public place, like in a park or in a square or whatever. So, and I did, and then he wants to kind of, and then, well, obviously there was a story in it. He wants to do it, and then he wants to also have a flash mob to come out of not blue, and to sing basically while he's kind of working with his girlfriend. So it was incredible experience. Actually, I arranged everything, and then I arranged a flash mob all the way. We arranged from north of the country. They came, I do believe, from Newcastle, if I'm not mistaken. And we did arrange in Chelsea, I do believe, Physic Gardens.
Wow.
And there was a story in it, of course. We had to arrange it. Sorry?
Did she say yes?
Yes, she did. And then actually the guest came back a year later to the hotel and stayed with us again. And he came to me saying, "Miko, thank you so much. I'm still with my wife." He said, still is happy. So that was because I'm so happy that I had a little part of a couple's, happy life. So that's makes me really happy. That was very, very memorable, actually. So
Oh, wonderful. And I'm sure that you have many, many repeat clients who come back and who keep in touch with you, because you're very much part of the, not like the family, but certainly in their lives when they come to stay. So you're like the uncle or the person who's part of their encounter, and how things are supposed to be. And you give them the advice. So that's lovely. And I think that's very important. It's all about the relationship and how you define that with your guests, and without stepping boundaries. Of course, there's ways of doing it, and that's exactly what a head concierge or a concierge is all about.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, it is all about absolutely relationship. So I mean, I'm still actually serving a few of my guests from my previous hotel, and whenever they're in town, whenever they need something, they always contact me, and I do things for them. And it's all about, I think it's all about, as you said, relationship and the trust as well. Once they trust you, and they always will come back to you, always. So even I had a guest who came back, stayed in another hotel, and he came. He said, "Miko, I'm in London now. I want you to do things for me." And then I said, "Well, you are staying in a hotel, and I know they're my friends, those concierges." I said, "Wouldn't it be nice if they find out that I am doing things for you?" He said, "No, no, Miko, it is all good. I have spoken to them. I don't like them." Well, I said, "Okay." So then,
Yeah.
yes. So then I cannot say no, obviously, but yeah, I do things. So which is really makes me happy. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it's deep in the pre-Christmas period now. So I appreciate that you have a lot of things to do and people to tend to. So I wanted to thank you very much for your time. It was a long time to get you, but finally I did. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, obviously it's a busy period, and also me being unwell at some point, so that stretched the time, obviously, for us coming together. So thank you so much for having me, Natalia, and hopefully I'll see you in London very soon, and probably next year. Well, when we say next year, it's a couple of months away.
Days. Yes.
So,
Absolutely. I will let you know, and I know I'll have the perfect service every time.
wonderful, wonderful.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode on Luxury with Natalia, Yachting International Radio, live from London with Miko. Have a great evening, and all the best to you and your team, Miko.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.